In today's Wood Story, we are building a custom guitar display case that is not only going to be a beautiful piece of art on your walls, but it's also going to be extremely functional, serving as a place to hang your guitars. So go grab your tools and let's start this Wood Story.
It's currently full-on winter here in Ontario, Canada. We had a dump of snow that even my dogs are finding challenging. But it is the perfect time to get into the shop and make something. For this guitar display case, I've chosen to use poplar and MDF for the frame, which I plan to paint. And then I'm going to be using white oak to create a slatted back. Using poplar will help keep the cost down and also the weight, as it is a less dense wood. But there's no doubt that this case, once done, will be very heavy. Plus guitars are pretty heavy, so it will need some serious wall support. Once I was done processing the wood to make it flat and straight, I cut the poplar into 4-inch strips. The thickness ended up being approximately 5/8 of an inch, but as long as it's consistent all around, then anywhere from 1/2 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch works great. Now I'm planning on using miter joints for the frame, but if you want to do the same, you need to make sure that the boards are at least 2 to 3 inches longer than the final size needed. Now, a note on the mitered joints. It is not considered to be a particularly strong joint on its own. However, because this case is also going to be having an MDF backing, I'm not going to be extra worried about this because that will give it the extra strength that it needs. With all the mitered corners cut to size, I started the frame assembly. This frame is so large that my usual racket clamp wasn't large enough. And clamping mitered corners is always a little tricky, but I do have these little homemade corner clamps that I made a while back. Now, they are far from great, so I'm not really going to go into details on how I made them because I don't really recommend them, but they are good enough when you are in a pinch. And especially because I'm also using nails as my clamps, then really all I'm trying to do here is to make sure that my corners are square while the glue sets. While the glue set on the frame, I cut the backing to size. I went with 3/8 of an inch MDF, and this backing will sit on the inside of the frame, so the fit has to be perfect. I'm also going to inset the backing to allow for 2 brackets to sit flush on the backside of the frame. The reason for this is that once the frame is done, the frame will actually be able to sit fully flush against the wall instead of protruding out. You'll see what I mean later on in this video. The 2 plywood brackets that you see me glue and attach here are cut with a 45-degree angle on my table saw. It is really important that they face the correct direction. The cut mitered side needs to face downwards, and the longest side of the miter needs to touch the table from the view you see here. The idea is that I'll cut another 2 45-degree plywood strips that will be attached to the actual wall, sitting opposite. So essentially, the 2 45 miter strips will click with each other to form a very strong bracket that can handle both the weight of the wood case, but also the guitar. That is, as long as it's also attached to a stud in the wall. Once the brackets are glued and nailed in place, the MDF backing can be attached with glue. Use heavy weights or a few nails to secure it while it dries. Once it's dry, I also recommend adding nails from the side. Just be very careful when you add these nails, as you do not want them to be exposed inside of your frame. So take your time and mark where to nail from. But this will give the frame the added strength and durability that it needs. Thank you so much for following along this build so far. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. By subscribing to my channel, you ensure that I can continue to bring you these kind of videos, as well as easy to build step-by-step digital plans that you can of course find on my website at any time. And I also wanted to let you know that I now offer some fun t-shirts, such as this one that I have named the Upside Down Flip Chart t-shirt. This allows you to convert from imperial to metric and as well to decimal, making it a lot easier for you when you are in the shop. So not only is it fun because it's upside down, allowing you to be the viewer looking down and getting all the numbers, but it is also a great way to support me. So if you like what I do, consider making a purchase of that as well. It is a new week and I am nowhere close to being done with this guitar case display. So I am regrouping this morning to figure out what steps I still need to do to finalize this project. Normally I'm on about a 2-week cycle for building, producing, and editing, and then launching my video. But I can already tell you now that that's not going to happen for this one. And there's a few different reasons for that. First of all, I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to in this build initially, but I also am going to my very first woodworking conference this week, and that's going to be hosted in Atlanta, Georgia. So by the time this video actually comes out, I should have already gone, and I might probably have left this build behind, and I'm going to come back and finish it off when I get back. So I'm super excited about that because I'm going to be meeting with some other content creators, woodworkers, and masters in the industry, and I'm really excited to see what they can teach me and all the amazing information that they're going to be presenting. So going back to the guitar case build, this is where I left it. I decided to frame the case, I decided to prime the case before painting it with its actual color, just because I didn't want all the wood to soak up my color, because I just got a small can of the actual color that I'm going to be using. I still have not cut my oak strips at all, so I still need to do that. I purchased some hardware for the guitar stand that I'm going to figure out how to incorporate, and essentially they are these kind of already pre-built little slatted thingies, and then this goes into it and clicks in, and that will hold the guitar. So the idea is once all the slats are in, then I need to make some room for this as well, so that kind of can look somewhat seamless within this. It is a slightly different shape, so I might need to cut it a little. I have to work on that. So that's going to be sitting like that. And then I need to continue to paint it. And then lastly, what I have already done is I have added supports in the back. I added this cleat system. So when they sit on the wall, the idea is that I have the opposite cleat like this. This will be the wall, and that will go in like this. And that way there should be basically no gap from the wall at all, which means this is going to sit nice and flush, but it is going to be nice and secure. The slatted back strips I'm cutting from 3/4 inch thick white oak, which will be the width once it's cut, and the thickness will be just about 1/2 inch. I calculated that I needed 13 strips total per frame. I also sanded these strips both with my drum sander and a lot of hand sanding. The frame needed several coats of paint, and I gently sanded it between each coat for a more smooth result. I wiped every single one of the oak strips with wood cleaner and allowed them to dry before applying the stain. Well, I just screwed myself because I went to go and mix my Rubio Monocoat, and I have my color, I guess, the color here, and that one, it's fine. But then I went to go and open the accelerator, and first of all, I can't even get it off. But I think it's no good. So, does anyone know if you could use something else as the accelerator for Rubio Monocoat? I might do a quick little Google search and see if there's something else I can use. And if that's not the case, then my project just got delayed. So it turned out that my accelerator had turned into a solid mess and was not going to work for me. I did try to Google some results online, but unfortunately everyone said that there's no real substitution. And even with Amazon, it was going to be a couple of days until I could get the replacement. So, I had to think a little bit out of the box. Now, I realized that this is most likely frozen because of the freezing cold temperatures in my shop. And yes, I do know that I'm not supposed to be storing paint and stain in my shop when there's a chance of it freezing, but I'm also lazy and I'm not going to keep all of this in the house, so I do take some chances from time to time. But I had the idea that maybe by sticking this can on top of my heater, that might just allow it to work again. And Lord behold, it did. 30 minutes later, I had a working accelerator once again. Now, I am positive that Rubio Monocoat will absolutely not recommend this step, but I'm just letting you know that if you are in a pinch, this worked. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. I have marked where my guitar holder is going to go. This is the exact middle, and I've just outlined that with some painter's tape. And then what I have also done is I have outlined the exact middle where this one is going to be going to ensure that this is aligned. So now the next thing is I am going to have to cut this one so that this can sit a bit more flush down here. And even though they're not the exact same color, I did a little test before where I held the guitar up to it. And this is primarily going to be covered by the guitar. So I'm not really worried about that. You're not really going to see it. And then the second thing I've done is I have determined the exact spacing. And this one is going to be 1.4 centimeters. That's the spacing between each of these. And I'm going to use this to line up like this. And then I'm going to put another one of the sticks behind here and go all the way through. I need to attach this with brad nails, but I unfortunately don't have any today. I'm running a little low. This is about all I have left. So they should be coming in tomorrow. So hopefully they'll come in the morning and I can start nailing this in, and then I think we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, making progress today, finally. The middle white oak piece is the most important in terms of it being centered and straight. So you better believe that I took my time triple checking my measurements before adding it. Now, I actually only attached it with painter's tape and CA glue. And the reason for this is because I actually need to be able to move this middle piece afterwards in order to cut it around the guitar hanging hardware. But because all of the spacing is done from this middle piece, I wanted it to be able to be placed first. So it may seem a little odd to start here, but it made attaching the rest of the oak strips and hardware so much easier. Before adding the guitar hardware, I gave it a coat of CA glue and activator to both give it some added strength, but also to keep it from shifting when I screw it into the frame. And after that, I just needed to cut the center oak strip to size surrounding the hardware, add the last nails, and it was ready for its first hanging test. The only thing missing now is attaching this case to my wall. But with the 45-degree wall hanging cleat system built directly into the frame with the corresponding piece ready to go on the wall, it was a much simpler process than trying to go to the hardware store to find a strong enough cleat. Now, this case turned out beautiful in my opinion, and having a gorgeous guitar on the wall is really the ultimate functional art. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think? And if you made it this far in the video, thank you. I have a special treat just for you, because you are the real deal. Because I have just launched my brand new Patreon membership page. This Patreon is the very best way to support my work, but it will also be a win for you, as once per month, all members will have access to download any one of my digital step-by-step plans of my website. As well, to give you a little incentive to join before April 1st, anyone who joins before that will be entered into a draw to win a complete router template set shipped directly to your door. So I hope you will consider joining, and I thank you for your support and consideration. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more great videos, and I will see you soon in the next Wood Story.